In Pit Lane, brought to you by Online Invent, and with thanks to our Platinum Star Patreon supporters. Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of In Pit Lane. It's our final edition for this season. Tonight, as you can see, we're not in the studio, we're in the RMIT Media Hub. But tonight, not one but two musical guests. Joining us a little bit later on in the program will be Leigh Esposito. But we'll also take you down to Winton Motor Raceway for the annual Historic Winton and a whole lot more. But right now, our first musical guest is Joshua Dean. You can find him on Spotify, Instagram and on YouTube, where you can find his video, Joshua Dean, Stay. But now, here's Joshua with Break the Surface. Joshua Dean.
I glide across the water like a skipping stone, never wants to break the surface of what I can become. Even though I tried, I tried so hard. Caught within that moment when you feel you're about to sink. Many times in this life I have been brought to the brink. Even though I tried, I tried so hard. Even though I tried, we hardly break the surface. We hardly break the surface. We hardly break the surface of our soul, of our soul. Many times I've been used as a skipping stone, stepped upon and walked across and never left alone. Even though I tried so hard. Missing out on moments in the time it takes to blink. Breaking through the surface can be harder than you think. Even though I tried so hard. Even though I tried, we hardly break the surface. We hardly break the surface. We hardly break the surface of our soul. We hardly break the surface. We hardly break the surface. We hardly break the surface of our soul, of our soul.
Hometown victory to Charles Leclerc in last weekend's Monaco Grand Prix. Starting from pole, the Ferrari driver led all the way to take his first win at the home circuit, holding out Melbourne driver Oscar Piastri in the McLaren, with Leclerc's Ferrari teammate Carlos Sainz finishing third. Wasn't a good weekend for the Alpine team, however, after its drivers Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly got together, with Alpine Formula One boss Bruno Famin saying there will be consequences for Ocon after the race. Stewards have imposed their own consequences already, with a 5-grid place penalty on Ocon for the next race in Canada. Whether he will actually get up to start that race or not is now up in the air. This could, of course, open the way for Australia's Jack Doohan to make his debut if Alpine follow through on that threat. Red Bull driver Sergio Perez was also lucky to escape injury after a big crash with Haas driver Kevin Magnussen. Neither driver was injured, but race officials ruled that the contact was, quote, a racing incident. Perez, along with most of the assembled spectators and journalists at the event, seemed to think differently. Meanwhile, it was a big weekend of motorsport internationally. Apart from Monaco, the eyes of the world's motorsport media family fixed on the city of Indianapolis, Indiana, for the running of the Indianapolis 500. There were 3 Penske cars locking out the front row, but in the end of the 3, it was the one that Australians probably wanted the least to win that ended up drinking the milk. Scott McLaughlin and Will Power led the field away in an untidy-looking start at the Indianapolis 500. It wasn't long before the race saw its first retirements after contact between Marcus Ericsson and Tom Blomqvist. Linus Lindqvist also hit the wall, and Felix Rosenqvist retired with mechanical problems. McLaughlin resumed the race in the lead after the restart as previous race winners Elio Castro Neves and Takuma Sato got together. Colton Herta hit the wall, as did Marco Andretti. Will Power's race ended after the lure of the Indianapolis walls also caught him out. The fight for the flag was insane, with Newgarden, Alex Rossi and Pato O'Ward each taking a turn in front. Rossi led into the final lap, but a perfectly timed run saw Newgarden grab the lead to take out his second Indianapolis 500 crown. New Zealand's Scott Dixon was third, Scott McLaughlin finished sixth. Cuthbert van der Linde won a weather-interrupted Saturday race at the Lausitz String at the latest round of the DTM. Starting from pole, van der Linde took the win from Mercedes driver Maro Engel. Porsche driver Thomas Preening secured third place. The race faced significant weather challenges, with heavy rain and flooding leading to 2 red flag interruptions. Sunday's race saw a winter Preening holding off the challenges of van der Linde and Feller. Contact between the Audi teammates at turn 8 cost the pair hard. The contact caused van der Linde to run wide, and race control ordered them to swap positions after a safety car restart following an incident involving Lucas Stoltz and Maximilian Paul. Preening went on to win the 60-minute race, with van der Linde finishing second to maintain his position as series points leader. Feller completed the podium in third after what was a great weekend for Audi. But if not for the inter-team contact, things might have been even better. Want to join the In-Pit Lane crew for a chat about all things motorsport? Then join us live online every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. for Full Course Yellow. We talk all things Formula One, supercars, Le Mans, MotoGP, drag racing, speedway and much, much more. So join us every week for Full Course Yellow. That's Wednesday nights at 8:30 on the In-Pit Lane YouTube channel and Facebook page. Yes, we're going to take a break now here on In Pit Lane, but when we come back, we're going to take you down to the fabulous Winton Motor Raceway for the annual Winton Historic, and we're going to be joined by our second musical guest, Leigh Esposito. Don't go away. You're watching In Pit Lane, our final show on Channel 31 for this season. We'll be right back.
Get the phone ringing for your business with website development and SEO services from Online Invent. Visit onlineinvent.com.au.
Yes, and we must say a huge thank you once again to Online Invent for their support in keeping this program on the air. You know, it's, as we say every week, without their support, we certainly wouldn't be here. And if we want to come back again, we do need support from sponsors. And Roy and the team from Online Invent, they not only have they, you know, as Roy supported us financially as well, but he's also supplied us with a lot of the footage you've seen behind us. He also has news stories as well. He also supports us privately as well. He's one of our Patreon supporters, as well as being a sponsor of the show.
He gets down the trenches, doesn't he?
He gets down
right
and
there,
dirty.
especially at the track. He does not muck around. He gets down there and he'll do the hard yards to get the footage. It's almost as much as dirty as we get. But yeah. Thanks, Roy. You're an absolute legend.
Yeah, so thank you. So thank you to Roy and Online Invent. And as we say every week, without Online Invent, without people supporting us on Patreon as well, there would be no In Pit Lane. So thank you to Online Invent for their support of the program and RMITV Student Television and Channel 31. Well, tonight we've got a second musical guest, and our second musical guest is Leigh Esposito. You can find him on Instagram, YouTube and Spotify, where you can find his song, You Ran. I'm not sure why we keep putting up the graphic for You Ran, but anyway, we keep putting up graphics. Okay, you can find his song, You Ran, but he's releasing a new song soon, which he'll preview a little bit later on in the program. But right now, this is Leigh Esposito and You Ran.
Seeing you go, seeing you leave, seeing you throw the pain you caused me. I'm left here now, left all alone, trapped and holding nothing but my broken soul. Driving through the parking lot of your mind, looking through to see if I could find a reason why you left. You ran, you hit me where I stand. I can't believe in why you hurt me, can't understand how you can live with what you did to me. I can't believe you'd be so reckless. You left, you ran. Feeling this way, memories flooding. I can't look back 'cause it hurts me. So look in my eyes and tell me why did you leave me all alone? Driving through the parking lot of your mind, looking through to see if I could find a reason why you left. You ran, you hit me where I stand. I can't believe in why you hurt me, can't understand how you can live with what you did to me. I can't believe you'd be so reckless. You left, you ran. Why did you leave me all alone? I've gotta find my own way home. Driving through the parking lot of your mind, looking through to see if I could find a reason. You left, you ran, you hit me where I stand. I can't believe in what you hurt me, can't understand how you can live with what you did to me. I can't believe you'd be so reckless. You left, you ran.
Welcome back to In Pit Lane. Well, last weekend, what a memorable one it was. Local motorsport interest was focused on Winton last weekend for the annual Austin 7 Club Historic Winton. Plenty of cars and bikes on track and on display, as well as plenty of eager fans on hand to see them in action and up close.
Fine weather and a packed 48 race program attracted large crowds to Winton Motor Raceway for the Austin 7's annual Historic Winton. The meeting is unique in featuring both 2 wheels, 3 wheels and 4, and celebrates many of the older, more quirky machines of the sport's history.
My name's Peter Donald, and I have here the 1926 Viglione, which was built in Argentina in 1926 by a guy called Louis Viglione. Louis Viglione was a motor mechanic. He ran a garage in Buenos Aires. He was part of the Italian diaspora living in Buenos Aires at the time. And he was renowned as an engine tuner, and he was used a lot in preparing cars for motor racing in Argentina. He built it out of bits and pieces that he had lying around the workshop. So the chassis, for example, is 1.5 inch water pipe, just held together with water pipe unions. The front axle is a rigid axle with sliding kingpins, which are Model T Ford stub axles with Model T Ford steering arms and so forth, going up to a Model T Ford planetary reduction unit that goes up the steering column to a chain that goes across, which I'll show you later, for the steering wheel. The engine is a 350cc Humber motorcycle engine. The clutch is a barrel with an external contracting band of unknown origin. The gearbox casing is an aluminium casing. We don't know what the origin of the casing is, but it gives a reverse gear and 2 forward gears. The internals, when they were rebuilt by Greg Smith, who does a lot of work on Bugattis, he said the internals of the gearbox are actually largely Bugatti. Somewhat battered, so they've obviously come out of his customers' cars in Buenos Aires when he was building the car up. Then from the gearbox it goes down just a little tail shaft that goes to drive through a crown wheel and pinion just to the near side rear wheel only, so that's the only drive. The brake drums on the back of it are tiny little brake drums, which are Brescia Bugatti shock absorber barrels. So it's built out of bits and pieces.
While there are bigger and more glamorous events on the Melbourne motorsport scene, the Winton Historic holds a special place in the hearts of its regular competitors and spectators.
The Historic Winton, I think it's about the 47th or something like that. Probably one of my favourite bike racing meetings of the year. Not so much because of the racing, we only do 4 races, but it's the most event with most atmosphere because of all the cars, lots of spectators. And
the weather gods have turned it on this weekend.
Yeah, it's often good up here. And I always invite lots of friends I know from work who aren't really mega bike heads, but a lot of them come up and, it's just a good thing you can walk around here. It's like a lot of entertainment, a lot of atmosphere.
Sadly, the unique nature of the event is under threat, with difficulties around the safety of the track for bikes. Not that too many of the competitors seem to have a problem.
Unfortunately, I reckon they're not going to have a licence for the bikes next year, which is a real shame, because even practising here, we practised with this about 18 months ago when it decided to kill the magneto again. And we found that it showed up all sorts of handling problems that I didn't know it had, and we've been flying around the island and lakeside up in Queensland and thinking this thing handles grouse, and we got to here and thought, this is crap. Yeah. And it's only just up the road from where we live, so it'd be so good if we could come here even for our open days, but you can't, so because MA thing and they want the wall moved. You know.
All in all, it was a great weekend. Be watching In Pit Lane on YouTube, and we'll soon have a special extended program with heaps of interviews, car and bike features and on-track action. And you won't have to pay $8 to watch it, but a donation would be nice. And it was a mixed weekend for last week's guest on In Pit Lane at Winton. Jacob Wingett celebrated his 20th birthday with a win in the Sunday morning regularity in his rare March 729 Formula Ford. His sister Abby, though, had a much tougher weekend. After crashing heavily on Saturday, Abby found herself with nowhere to go when the car of Graham Raper spun. The contact saw both cars damaged and Abby suffering from a broken foot. We wish Abby all the very best in her recovery.
Francesco Bagnaia has won the Catalunya Grand Prix, narrowing the gap to championship leader Jorge Martin, who finished second, so not that far behind. Ducati's Marc Marquez raced through the field to take third, despite starting from 14th on the grid. At the race's start, Bagnaia and Pedro Acosta surged to the front, but Acosta, on softer tyres, crashed out with 14 laps to go, allowing Bagnaia to take the lead ahead of Martin. Australia's Jack Miller had another disappointing race, crashing out of contention on lap 3.
And weather played havoc with NASCAR's World 600 race last weekend. Christopher Bell was declared the winner of the 65th running of the race after local storms forced NASCAR to call the race early. Drivers completed just 249 of the scheduled 400 laps before rain and lightning brought out the red flag. Although the rain stopped, NASCAR decided to call the race. The statement said that the high humidity and the likelihood of resuming the race after 1 a.m. drove the decision. Brad Keselowski was credited with a runner-up finish. He was followed by William Byron, Tyler Reddick and Denny Hamlin. Shane Van Gisbergen finished in 28th place. You're watching In Pit Lane here on Channel 31. We'll be right back with more in just a moment. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Get the phone ringing for your business with website development and SEO services from Online Invent. Visit onlineinvent.com.au.
Now, this is a bonus for all of you watching on the In Pit Lane YouTube channel. Giving us our second song, our bonus song tonight, is Josh Dean, and he opened up the program for us. You can find his music video for Stay on YouTube, and he's also on Instagram at jdeanmusic31, which is appropriate. But right now, he's going to play us out with the bonus song here on In Pit Lane. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Dean.
I met her in a dream. She was the prettiest thing I'd ever seen. The beauty in her smile. I wish that I could sit and stay a while. I don't know who you are, but I'll meet you again. It's never too far. I don't know where or when, but I'm gonna meet you, girl. Yeah, I'll meet you there. I'm gonna meet you, girl. Yeah, I'll meet you there. Her laughter makes me smile, and her tears bring me pain. don't know who you are, but I know I can wait. It's never too far. I guess I'll just leave it to fate. But I'm gonna meet you, girl. Yeah, I'll meet you there. I'm gonna meet you, girl. Yeah, I'll meet you there. I'm gonna meet you, girl. I'll meet you there. I'm gonna meet you, girl. I'll meet you there. I'm gonna meet you, girl. Yeah, I'll meet you there. I'm gonna meet you, girl. Yeah, I'll meet you there.
Welcome back to In Pit Lane, coming to you from the Media Hub here at RMITV, or RMIT University, in the heart of Grand Prix City, Melbourne. As we say, that's it, Doc. That's us gone for the foreseeable future.
That is. We're going on holidays. Could be anywhere in the world right now, but
well, you're going on holidays, and I'm not. Yeah.
We stopped living out of a suitcase. However, just before you give us a big wrap up, I just want to say a huge thank you. Everyone appreciates you in the whole wide world of motorsport, especially here in Australia. Australia. This guy is an absolute living legend, and he does everything that needs to be done behind the scenes. This man, massive,
including winding you up, because Peter's already given.
Exactly.
We have gone so far over time for the last show. I just want to say very good. This is really important, and please, Channel 31, bear with us for just a moment. We are going to run a little over time. We really do have no choice. We just want to say thank you to everybody, to the wonderful crew here at RMITV who have made this possible. Without all these amazing people, there would be no show. You wouldn't see crane shots like that. You see the people down there, you see Pete, you see everybody who comes in and gives their time every week to make this show possible. Thank you everybody so much. We really do appreciate it, and we hope that we will see you all again coming up in September. No guarantee, just to let you know, Full Course Yellow Wednesday nights will be continuing, but also there will be special programs coming up on the In Pit Lane YouTube channel until we find out what's happening coming up here on Channel 31. But right now, the music has been such an important part of the program, and particularly this season. We've had so many great musos, and closing us up for this season tonight is Leigh Esposito. He's coming out with a new song soon on Instagram, YouTube and Spotify. It's called How Can You Be? Well, he's going to show you right now, because this is Leigh Esposito and How Can You Be? Good night, everybody. We'll see you soon.
If you look up at the sun, would you know what time of day it was? Do you ever think of me honestly any time of the day? But how can I know? How can I think when nothing's shown? How is it I find myself walking in circles and I'm alone? How can you be something like in a movie scene? Both characters lost their minds. Or are we both just out of time? How can you be this so-called something in my life when we both know you just stay for the night? Always thought it never end right, but love, it's just another chance to fight. How can I feel the so-called love when it doesn't wanna come? Why do I feel like I'm losing when I've never won? Maybe it's just me. Am I overthinking everything? But then reality hits and I'm left with a missed call. Oh, it sucks. It's hard. I'm over it. I've lost all I am. I've lost all I am. How can you be something like in a movie scene when both characters lost their minds? Or are we both just out of time? How can you be this so-called something in my life when we both know you just stay for the night? I always thought it never end right, but just another chance to fight.